Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It's Tuesday, December 16th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
It's become a Christmas tradition at this retirement residence in Perth, one that has grown piece by miniature piece since it started 6 years ago.
I do it in order to try to entice the grandkids and the great-grandkids to come in and see their grandparents at Christmas. My favorite is the bumper cars here.
Every Christmas season, co-owner Whit Lewandowski builds miniature animated Christmas displays for residents and visitors.
A lot of the times the residents will help take the items out of the box. They'll help, once I get a lot of the electronics set up and everything, they'll help place the figurines in places they think works best.
The displays help create a sense of home and connection during the holidays.
This is our home now, and a lot of us can't have great big trees and great big families around all of the time. And Lanark Lifestyles is a place where we can all gather, and it's just like home.
And for many, the details bring back memories from long ago.
I like the merry-go-round. It reminds me of when I was, little kid. Yeah, but they're all very nice.
I always liked the skating rink. I used to love to skate, so that brings back good memories.
The displays also now creating new memories.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, and it's so attractive for residents and visitors, and especially young children.
A lot of the grandkids will come and play with it, and I don't have signs on it, do not touch or anything else. If something breaks, we have glue.
A collection of tiny details built on kindness and the spirit of the season. A reminder that even the little things can spread so much joy. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
From hand to hand, students are running non-perishable items from St. Augustin to the Garson Food Bank.
We have a very special event that we do every few years. It's a human chain to bring food that we've collected for the past 2 weeks from St. Augustin all the way to the Garson Food Bank. So the kids are excited. This is something that was initiated by the Leadership Club.
Oh, definitely. It'll make a difference. There's a lot of needy families out there this year, so the need is more and more.
Absolutely. And how has the need grown?
It's risen over 30%. We have more clients every week. It's more and more.
The students' goal is to support families in need, and staff feel this hands-on experience is a great way to increase awareness for students.
We put the food boxes under the little Christmas trees in the class, so it's like a visual aspect of what's going on at Christmas, and they're so proud when they get to school, hardly able to lift the bags of food that they brought in, so it's very special this year.
It just teaches them to give and to share and, to see that families need the food, and I think it makes them feel pretty good.
The donation chain was assembled by Neely and the leadership students from grades 5 to 8.
Our whole school is here, and we're doing it because we wanted the people in Garson can have a good holiday with food.
I feel good, and we're doing something good, and we know that people will enjoy the canned goods and stuff.
This year, St. Augustin has donated around 720 non-perishable food items, which the Garson Food Bank says will make a difference for community members. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Her daughter passed away on the 27th of October. We just said, well, let's do something for her. My wife came up with the idea, let's start a toy drive. And over the last month of doing it, everybody's been delivering and us picking up, and it just turned out more than what we expected.
We'll start our stuffy bit.
Our inspiration was for our little girl. She was very good at catching people's hearts, and it definitely showed from our toy drive. Just posted on Facebook. We made flyers, passed them around to local businesses. Everybody donated pretty well that where we took them. My wife set up an online wish list on Amazon, and packages just kept coming to our house. So you can't even imagine how it makes you feel knowing that everybody thought of her, thought of us.
We will use this donation for what we call Operation Snowpile, and it's a way that we support families while they're in hospital to help them keep things normal and to alleviate them from having to worry about Christmas lists and getting out shopping and making sure that all the normal things happen while they're here in hospital. So we're really grateful. I mean, it's so wonderful that we have these people in the community that are thinking of the kids that are here in hospital and their families, and everyone is so touched when they get to witness some of these donations, seeing how much the community is doing for them. We're really grateful, and so are the patients and families.
We've been in the IWK months and months over Sawyer's lifespan, and I've seen firsthand kids that are here and stuck in holidays. Why not try to make something a little brighter for somebody else? And Sawyer was like that. She took care of everybody else. She's very compassionate for being so young. And it's just nice to give back to help. Everybody needs help.
As the snow falls, snowmobilers rejoice over the potential bumper season potentially ahead.
It's certainly trending that way. We like cold, we like snow, and we're getting lots of that in the early season.
But up until 2 weeks ago, at least some of the 30,000 kilometers of snowmobile trails in Ontario were going to have to be closed this winter.
We had pegged about 4,500 kilometers of trail across Ontario to close for this upcoming season. Obviously with the intention of looking at ways to bring it back in future years.
That was until the Ministry of Transportation came through with a $3.9 million check to help balance the books for the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs, who say revenues from trail permits have not been meeting the rising cost of trail maintenance.
The things that we consume, fuel, steel, lumber, all of those things have gone up over the years, and it's caught up with us. And in order to maintain a 30,000 plus kilometer network that reaches all corners of this vast province, we needed to make some changes, and we needed to have this critical investment from our partners at the Ministry of Transportation of Ontario.
Despite a bumper snowmobile season last year, more and more snowmobilers are buying multi-day passes, not year-round passes, which has impacted snowmobile clubs' ability to maintain trails across Ontario, says Eichmeyer.
Costs during the COVID years went through the roof. And now we have seen those permit sales come back down to earth and actually regress a bit while costs have continued to rise. So all of this was an effort to try to balance the budget, ensure that we are putting the proper maintenance, the proper funding into the trails that we have.
The provincial cash means it's full steam ahead for this snowmobile season in Ontario as trails slowly open across the province.
When we look outside today and we see the snow falling again, this could be a season for the ages, one where we have excellent trail availability from December all the way through to April. It's certainly shaping up that way.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Hockey Canada released its Rise as One report, a focus on the women's game with 14 national recommendations to grow and improve the sport from the grassroots to the highest levels.
The need for girls hockey and the demand for girls hockey is there. What we are saying is we just can't just expect year over year. We have to make dramatic changes in order to continue to blow through these type of goals.
At its core, the report calls for a national standardized youth development program with stronger national oversight. Nova Scotia's Corey Chevry has seen the game from every angle as a player at St. Mary's University and now as a coach with the women's national team and as head coach of the Montreal Victoire in the PWHL.
I think we still continue to see growth in the women's game across the country, and being from the Maritimes and the Atlantic provinces, we're seeing growth there as well, not only with players but coaches, officiating, and bench staff.
The blueprint is pushing to grow leadership opportunities for women in the sport while also giving girls the same chances as boys to get on the ice and develop their skills.
Well, there wasn't really any just for girls organizations. It was mostly girls would just play on boys' teams.
St. Mary's forward Jill Duggan is in the final stretch of her university hockey career. She grew up playing competitive hockey with the boys until she was 13.
I honestly wouldn't change anything.
Across the country, 115,000 girls were registered in minor hockey last year. By 2030, Hockey Canada wants that number to climb past 170,000. Dugan has seen the sport evolve, and putting the women's game in the spotlight will help.
When I was younger, I looked up 2 girls on the Canadian team, but now they have like an actual league.
The PWHL is coming to Halifax on Wednesday, with Montreal taking on Toronto. It's a chance to see the best in the world.
It's just going to open the eyes. It's going to set dreams higher. It's going to really push the boundaries of what is possible in the Maritimes.
Jesse Thomas, CTV News.
With the late arrival of winter in recent years, you might say skating season was on thin ice.
It's sad if there is a shortage of ice rinks, because it's one of the beautiful way to profit of winter.
With wind chill values dipping to the -20s, the cold has come earlier this year, and Montrealers are eager to hit the ice. But rinks like the one at Girouard Park are few and far between. Out of the 230 municipal skating rinks, less than 24 were open as of Sunday.
A lot of the parks are rendered, unusable by the kids because it's not safe, they're icy, like they can't really climb, and so we live in a cold climate. You have to have something to do outside.
In a statement to CTV, the City of Montreal said outdoor ice rinks are especially sensitive to weather. Once the ground is saturated, temperatures must stay between -4 and -20 degrees for at least 3 consecutive days for the ice to form. Meanwhile, some are turning to Dorval. The refrigerated covered outdoor rink opened for its 2025-2026 season last month. And the staff says they're seeing crowds from across Canada and the U.S.
I'm here with the Fam Jam. We're just glad that they have taken an initiative to open up these rinks.
If I go to another rink, I have to go and shovel it, especially if it snows, versus there you're fine. And then also if it dips below 0, you can always come here, it's open.
In light of climate change, the mayor of Dorval says there are advantages to a covered refrigerated rink.
We're getting snow when the last few years we haven't had cold weather or snow. So very hard to maintain a natural ice rink on grass or on asphalt. So a refrigerated rink outdoors is fantastic. And we can start anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks earlier than we can for a regular, backyard hockey rink.
Still, the City of Montreal hopes to open all skating rinks in the Ville-Marie borough before the holidays if the weather cooperates. Anastasia Dec.16, CTV News.
Neighborhood rinks are being prepared across Kitchener communities.
We have a little over 20 rinks right now. We're still recruiting for a couple. We're hoping to get that number closer to 25, but we'll have certainly over 20 operating rinks this year.
The rinks are municipally owned but operated by volunteers. And with the amounts of snow and cold temperatures southwestern Ontario has seen in the past few weeks, rinks are being flooded earlier than usual.
In the past few years, our rinks haven't become active until January. So we've had a great cold spell here the last little while, which has helped our volunteers start to get things ready a little bit earlier than we typically would have the rinks going.
One of the City of Kitchener's rinks that recently opened is right here at Westmount Public School. Now, this is one of the few locations that features 2 rinks, and so while the big one beside me isn't quite ready for skaters, volunteers said they worked hard to ensure that the small rink behind me would be ready in time for Christmas.
We're really fortunate as a school. We're one of the last schools to have a rink. A lot of the other rinks are at parks, and it really does bring the community together from all over the neighborhood.
The process to get the pads skating ready takes about 2 weeks.
Walk on the snow to pat it down, and then you wet it, and then you walk on it again, and you keep doing that over and over until you have a good base, and then you can start to really flood it.
With warmer weather expected in the coming weeks, volunteers are preparing to pivot.
We'll probably close the rinks and just keep people off of them, and hopefully have enough base where it can kind of survive 24 or 36 hours of warmth, and then gets cold again and you can keep flooding it and it survives that. But if you get 2 or 3 really warm days, you can end up kind of starting from scratch again.
All the hard work proving to be worth the effort.
It's really fun to come up here on a weekend or even a weeknight and you see tons of kids out skating or a quick hockey game that's organized. So yeah, that's definitely that's the part that when you're out here at midnight and you're really cold and you're flooding, that you kind of picture those times where it's filled with kids and everyone's having a great time.
To get those skates ready, because a rink could be coming to a neighborhood near you. Kara Smapp, CTV News, Kitchener.
While his sleigh is undergoing preparation for a busy night of delivering gifts, Santa Claus opted to travel in a 1952 North American Harvard aircraft as he delivered an early Christmas present to the Saskatchewan Aviation Museum.
The elves have been busy working to bring a present for all the volunteers that do all the hard work at the museum. So in this big red box here, we have a couple new additions to the museum.
The man in red gifted the museum with 2 pedal planes for all who visit to enjoy. One museum volunteer says they're all very thankful for the surprise.
Well, you know, as volunteers, we work pretty hard. We're not unlike Santa's little elves, so it's really nice to get recognition from the big guy because he knows how hard elves work.
After delivering the gifts, Santa spent the day visiting with families who stopped by the museum.
We just thought it's so great to be able to showcase the museum, and who better this time of the season to showcase it than the guy in the big red suit.
Jensen added that while the museum certainly enjoys ringing in the holidays, it also has programming year-round.
We do education programs here, we do tours here, we have flight simulators for kids and adults alike to play on. We have a helicopter to get inside. We have a couple outside displays, normally that are only open in the summer, of course.
After hearing what many Saskatoon children are hoping to see under their trees this Christmas, Santa climbed back in his Harvard and headed home to the North Pole in preparation for the big night. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The thing that got me into this hobby, honestly, was about 25 years ago. I was at a flea market and I bought a $2 metal detector, and I was out the same day and I found an old locket. And that was my first taste of actually finding something. It was probably one of the best feelings I've had. And as they say, you get hooked on it as soon as you kind of get in that little world. One of the things that I found was extremely special to me that I never expected what I found was a 1721 Spanish real. When I found this, it was on a rocky beach, and it was one of those places that I thought it was a beep that wasn't going to be anything special. Pulled it up. I thought it was a piece of metal, but I realized how much history I had in my hand as soon as I seen those symbols on that coin.
That coin was actually a Spanish 1 real coin that would have circulated in Canada from the 17 and 1800s. It was sort of the de facto coin that was used and recognized worldwide, and it was actually the basis on which American coinage was based on. Today, in the condition that we saw it in the picture, would probably be worth somewhere between $50 to $100 maybe. In better condition, we could be looking at several hundred, even up to $1,000. This is an 8 real coin that would have circulated. So this is 8 times the size of the one that Drew had found. And this would have been the larger form of that. This was actually salvaged from a shipwreck, a real shipwreck called the El Calzador. In terms of how rare they are to find nowadays outside of actual shipwrecks, it's a really unusual find. So he was really lucky to pick that up where he did. When you're having fun and you're passionate about what you do, you just don't stop, and don't let anything stop you, because you never know where you might find another treasure.
There's so much history here under our feet, and that's what they meant by it, I guess. It's just under your feet. You have to look for it, right? And when you pull it up, you can feel the history.
When you look at this building now, there's hope. There's hope for our people.
From the moment you enter the building, it's evident the King Thunderbird Center, or Okamau Piatsuka Mik in Cree, is designed to welcome people in.
First and foremost, this is a place of ceremony, a place where people can have that ceremonial and cultural grounding to their healing journey.
It's been 4 years since Boyle Street Community Services bought this old paintball arena with a vision for its new headquarters. There's office space for staff and different rooms where the vulnerable and homeless can get help in spaces designed to meet their needs.
We were touring a bunch of people around, and one of our community members just said, "This is for us," almost in disbelief, and that was really touching to me.
The center has 3 dens like this one where people can come to access professional services like housing and healthcare supports. While they wait, they can also just relax, hang out with friends, do some laundry, maybe play a game or two.
Moving from its old building by Rogers Place has been a bumpy road for Boyle Street. In late 2022, its development permit was revoked after nearby business and resident groups raised safety concerns, worried Boyle Street would be operating an overnight drop-in shelter and supervised consumption site. Neither of those services are offered here.
What we saw reflected in this process was the way often the people that we serve are treated in the community and the way that they are wanted to, not to be around, to be pushed out.
This whiteboard gives a glimpse of what's actually been on offer since mid-November during the center's soft launch: a housing workshop, learner's permit lessons, and Cree classes.
Most people haven't even noticed that we're open, and we've had 2,000 visits in the last month.
Now that the King Thunderbird is officially open, Boyle Street only expects to get busier. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Justin Hewitt first learned to play Beatles songs as a way of connecting with his Fab Four loving father.
And Dad loved that, so he was always saying to me, keep doing it.
But it inspired Justin to write his own songs and release 2 independent albums. But after a decade of bearing his soul in local bars, Justin was burning out.
You don't lose your love for it, but you kind of need a break from it.
So Justin stopped making music for years, until during the pandemic, he lost 4 friends and family members, including his dad.
And having all that death, I needed something that made me feel alive again.
So Justin dared to dream big. He began asking about recording in the same studio his dad's beloved Beatles had, and after working hard to earn the privilege, Abbey Road finally said yes.
You're scared because part of you is like, what am I doing here? And the other part of you is like, what am I doing here? This is awesome.
Justin and his band couldn't have felt more fortunate for the opportunity to play on the same piano Paul McCartney played and sing in the same microphone John Lennon sang.
Don't give up. Just keep going until something happens.
And now, Justin's album, Love Will Disarm You, is being streamed around the globe, with international critics calling the virtuosic storytelling an emotional masterpiece.
I'm very grateful and really happy with how it's being received.
And while Justin has no doubt his dad is looking down with pride, after following tradition and writing a message on the wall of Abbey Road, Dad, I love you, see you on the flip side, followed later by I did it, there's also no doubt this boy is grateful for how his father inspired him to fill his heart with song again.
Life can be hard, but, try to find the things that make you happy and keep doing those and hold on to them.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Colwood.